I would say there's probably a maturity increase there, but Red Soul Cup kind of kicks that to the curb.
I hate beach balls.
Why?
Because I feel like people should come there to hear the music and not play with their balls.
Gosh, I have a lot of porta potties this year.
They do.
So, you know, if you even think about needing to use the restroom, you're golden.
This week on Headline Country, Miranda Lambert may have taken a side road with her new band Pistol Annies, but her solo career hasn't skipped a beat. Brad Paisley's latest #1 songs rose to the top with more than just a little help. Toby Keith pays tribute to the holy grail of tailgating. And Bryan heads back to the farm. Plus, see how Taylor Swift's career has taken on a new scent.
Hey guys, I'm Chris Young, and Headline Country starts right now.
Hello everybody, I'm Stormy Warren. Chris, we'll get back to you a little bit later in the show. But first, Brad Paisley shared the stage of the Grand Ole Opry with a bunch of superstars. Well, that by itself isn't anything new, but the purpose of this particular gathering was definitely unique, as Brad celebrated not one, but two #1 songs, number 19 and 20 of his career, and both are duets. Old Alabama with Hall of Fame group Alabama, and Remind Me, his collaboration with his CMA co-host Carrie Underwood. Brad was only happy to share the spotlight.
Listening to Old Alabama.
This is Brad's 20th #1, Old Alabama.
You know, anytime you pick up the phone and you call somebody like Randy Owen and then Jeff and Teddy and say, will you guys get back together and sing for me, after you've just announced that you're not going to do that anymore, you really want it to be good.
Congratulations.
He called up each one of us individually and told us he was working on the song. At the time, it was just a song. We didn't know it was going to be a single or a video or anything. And so he sent us a copy of the song. We said, sure.
Listen back home, come on, music.
I think that's inspiring, the fact that after all your accomplishments, you want to be a part of things that you think are fun. And that's what you said all along. Hey, if it's fun, we'll do it.
'Cause that's where music has to start.
Two big duets really close together. I mean, is it just pure coincidence?
We finished Old Alabama and realized that needed to be out at the radio stations right away. And that came out. And then we wrote Remind Me right away. And recorded that, and then there was just no way that radio was going to let us get away with holding that back from them any longer, so they came out back to back.
Way back when we couldn't get enough.
I really need to thank Carrie. You have jumped off many a cliff with me. I mean, when I called you, we had the idea more than anything, and we had a melody.
Remind me.
Imagine, if you would, getting a call, and I say, all right, here's how it goes. But then it says, been so long, but... Well, then you sing Remind Me.
We always wanted to sing together, and it was always like, well, we just need the right thing.
You know, I think as writers we know when you've got something that's special. And the key to something like this is the best singer in all of country music.
Brad and Carrie will co-host the 45th Annual CMA Awards Wednesday, November 9th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central on ABC. Well, last year, Miranda Lambert won both Album of the Year and Female Vocalist of the Year honors at the CMAs. And once again, she finds herself in the running for multiple awards. Look for her to perform one of the songs from her new album titled For the Record. I caught up with Miranda to talk about the new music and her absolute hatred for beach balls. Whether it was intentional or not, when you listen to Miranda Lambert's new album, For the Record, you find yourself witnessing the rise and fall of a relationship, the story unfolding amidst a musical explosion of influences, styles, and moods.
I like to make records. I like to make something that is cohesive and that you put it in and you don't take it out until the very end songs. Every song on this album has its own personality, and each of them is a little piece of me. Whether it's just my musical influence coming out in the sound or the lyrics, or whether it's just a song that I love or that I wrote by myself, it all it all has these different personalities and all comes together as one. I just think that I can live vicariously through the characters in my songs, you know? It's part of my personality, just exaggerated.
And when you hit the ground, check the lost and found, 'cause that ain't my problem now.
On this album, I went into the studio with this just open mind, like let the music lead the way. I didn't really have a plan. I had the songs, but not really a plan as far as sounds go. I mean, Frank Liddell obviously had a plan, thank God somebody did, but I just wanted to like feel it out, feel the whole way through the album, and that's what we did.
Miranda says her recent side gig as a member of the man-hating trio Pistol Annies allowed her to stretch her creative wings even wider on For the Record.
As an artist, I love so many different kinds of music and so many different kinds of songs, and I jump around. I'm kind of like that in my life, and so why not put it in my music? I feel like everything that's ever influenced me shows up on this record. It's a really good feeling to know that people get me now. I really think, you know, Revolution was the record that people go, okay, I know what she's about now. I had those songs that, you know, kind of showed every side of my personality, not just crazy gun-toting girl. I mean, that's part of me, but I really feel like people like radio and fans really started to grasp who I was and sort of aren't like scared of it anymore. They're like, oh, okay, we see, and they're more accepting of what I have to say.
The new music will come even more to life as Miranda gets set to hit the road with her brand new On Fire tour, a tour that does come with a warning for her fans.
I hate beach balls. Why? Because I feel like people should come there to hear the music and not play with their balls. For the record.
Where did the hatred come from? Did something happen? Were you scarred by a beach ball?
Yes, the hatred came on the Kenny Chesney tour, which, by the way, he hates him too. Even though he's beachy, doesn't mean he wants to get hit in the face during a ballad with the beach ball, and that's what happened to me. And so now
what song was it?
It was on More Like Her. And so now I stabbed him with my heel or whatever, box cutters. I keep a box cutter on the stage now, just in case.
So come and get it.
Coming up, a conversation with Toby Keith.
Well, it may very well be the silliest country song since Tim McGraw launched his career with Indian Outlaw. I'm talking about Toby Keith's tribute to a red cup. The ridiculous tune is from his new album, Clancy's Tavern, a collection that began with its debut single, Made in America, which is where they make those little red cups, by the way. We're going to start this interview with a test.
Okay.
I need you to close your eyes for a second. Identify this sound.
Sound like a crunching beer can.
Close.
Still sounds like a crunch. What is it? Oh, red Solo cup. I knew it was a drinking vessel.
Congratulations on Clancy's Tavern.
Thank you.
Following your music as I have since day one, this one sounds different. Not in a bad way, in a great way. It just sounds richer for some reason. Is there something to that?
I would say there's probably a maturity increase there, but Red Soul Cup kind of kicks that to the curb. It's the stupidest song I've ever heard in my life. But the melody is, you just get infected with the melody. And it's sing-along, it's the ultimate party song. And the second that I put it on hold, everybody in town wanted to cut it.
Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party.
I just called everybody in, and I said, anybody wants to participate in this goofy song, take your phone cam and give me 10 seconds of you doing something stupid with this right here, you know, and it's just goofy.
But it's not an exact example of the rest of the project. It's just a nice little fun detour.
Yeah, it is.
I Googled Clancy's Tavern, and I found about 6 or 7 that popped up. Mm-hmm. But none of them are what this song is about.
My biological grandfather on my mother's side died when she was 2. My grandmother, the widow, she waited tables at Billy Garner's Supper Club. Well, when Billy retired, she bought it, never changed the name, And the title of this could have been Billy Garner Supper Club, but that's not my grandmother. She married a guy who was my grandfather figure that we had, and he nicknamed her Clancy because she owned a bar. So he would say, you know, Clancy, go down to your tavern. And it aggravated her that that was her nickname. And so when I put Clancy's Tavern, all of our family and all of their friends and everybody that knew those two got a big smile on their face, like, oh yeah, he always called her Clancy.
She ain't prejudice, he's just made in America.
Every time I try to find a theme to one of your records, you're quick to dispel it and say these are just the songs that I've written. And these are the best songs that I've written and they deserve to be on the album. Is that true again, or was it? True
again. Once in a while, like Clancy's Tavern, there's one that is just a reading of the minutes in the day in the life of. Most of them are just ideas that you think are great, and then you try to paint a picture and an imagery of how to get to that idea. If people struggle at writing songs, it's because they don't get to that idea. They get there and they've written this great verse, but then they don't have that big knockout punch.
Right.
And if you've got the knockout punch and then you write the great verse, because you know, you only hear the 10 or 11 things that we do. You don't hear those 50 others we discard that had the wrong melody and sucked, didn't have that right idea.
He's got the red, white, brown hound, simple tattooed on his left arm.
I've heard this phrase in various forms of business, and it could be definitely applied to songwriting based on what you just said, and that's start at the end.
We kind of start in the middle. We kind of start in the middle and say, this is the hub, and all these are spokes on the wheel, and you build that wheelbase. But if you don't have that great hub, you got to buy one that fits when you get there. And it's hard when you build a custom wheel that you can't go down to Napa and get that every hub. But if you start with that hub, you can build the wheel.
You can't get a recap for a bad song.
Can I get this retreaded?
Yeah, exactly. Clancy's Tavern also features 4 new live tracks from Toby's side band, Incognito Bandito, including a great remake of Truck Drivin' Man. The classic was written and originally recorded by Terry Fell back in 1954. Well, for a story of one of Toby's favorite memories about Clancy, check out headlinecountry.net. It involves guns, money, and screeching car tires. She was one tough woman. We'll be right back. Still to come, Taylor Swift adds her name to the growing list of stars willing to share the sweet smell of success. Late-night talk show host David Letterman said she smells like expensive wood. That was his review of Taylor Swift's new fragrance, Wonderstruck. Taylor prefers to describe it as warm with hints of vanilla and berries. Well, fans across the country are getting the chance to smell for themselves what the superstar has created as Taylor tours department stores in support of the perfume's release. Her Nashville stop tops our look at stories making country headlines this week. What happens when Taylor Swift makes an impromptu appearance at a Nashville area mall? Well, this. The superstar stopped by department store Belk for the official release of her debut fragrance, Wonderstruck.
It took about a year to plan this fragrance and get it all ready to go, and it was such an amazing process because there's so much of testing and smelling and sampling and filling out questionnaires of what your favorite scents were from childhood and stuff like that.
The perfume in stores now will soon be joined by another special project, Taylor's first ever live CD-DVD combo. Speak Now World Tour Live, out November 21st.
Baby, I'm amazed by you.
Big news for Lonestar fans. The rumors are true. 5 years after leaving the band, former frontman Richie McDonald is returning to the group in celebration of their 20-year anniversary. In addition to the reunion, Lonestar says plans are already in the works to record a full-length studio album and launch a world tour in 2012.
Would you please welcome Grand Ole Opry star Martina McBride.
Just 1 week after Martina McBride turned New York's Empire State Building pink in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the superstar returned home to Nashville to do the same, this time on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry.
I'm gonna love you through it.
Along with doing the pink honors, Martina treated fans to a performance of her inspirational hit, I'm Gonna Love You Through It.
Thank you all so much. God bless you. Love you.
Congratulations on your star on the Walk of Fame.
Well, there's a new star in town. Music icon Peter Frampton was officially inducted into the Music City Walk of Fame earlier this month. While his name in concrete may be new to Nashville, the singer himself is no stranger to the community.
The reason I love Nashville so much and have such great memories of coming here is that it nourished me because it's such a beautiful musical community here.
Someone like yourself attaches himself to Music City. The first question is why?
To Music City? Well, like I said, it was something, I came here to write a song, and 7 years later I was still here, so.
With hits like Show Me the Way, Do You Feel Like We Do, and Baby I Love Your Way, Frampton's 1976 breakthrough album, Frampton Comes Alive, remains to date one of the best-selling live albums of all time.
I'm so honored for you to think of me enough to put me in stone here. I'm told that I am leaving. You're not going to actually put me in stone, are you?
Congratulations to Peter Frampton, our newest inductee. Peter's star is number 51 on the Music City Walk of Fame.
42,000 strong helped make Luke Bryan's third annual Farm Tour a record-breaking success.
Welcome back, Farm Tour 2011. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This thing's rocking.
It's been good, man. We're growing with it, and that's all you can want to do with this thing is each year, have your crowds get a little bigger, and we got a bigger stage this year and a great location, and gosh, I have a lot of porta potties this year.
They do.
So, if you even think about needing to use the restroom, you're golden.
Drinking beer, wasting bullets.
We caught up with the Georgia native just outside of his old college stomping ground for one of 6 Farm Tour stops that help raise money for the area's struggling farming communities. And while on stage, Luke found a little gift of his own, a surprise plaque honoring the gold sales status of his latest album, Tailgates and Tan Lines.
None of that would have happened without you guys. Thank you so much for making my album.
When we come back, Chris Young and Justin Moore will take you behind the scenes on the sets of their latest music videos.
Finally this week, it's time for another visit to the sets of some of the newest music videos you can see right here on GAC. This time we catch up with Chris Young, Justin Moore, and Georgia singer-songwriter Corey Smith.
Okay, action car.
We're shooting the new video for the new single that we just had come out a couple weeks ago, called "You" off the new record.
No one gets me like you when you kiss me. Girl, you rock me harder than some downtown band.
And this is very kind of different. It's kind of a themed video a little bit, and I think when people see it, it's just shot differently than anything I've done before. The premise is I'm kind of a gas station attendant, and anytime I get to use old cars in a video is awesome. There's an old truck, there's a Bel Air out here, so it's just cool to kind of see them, and it definitely helps with the whole theme we're doing for the video.
I've never found anything that makes me feel like I do about you. He can't even bait a hook.
This is beautiful. It's about 70 degrees. We're out on Percy Priest just outside of Nashville. Beta Hook is my 6th video to shoot, believe it or not, which is crazy, man.
You'll come running back, he can't even bait a hook.
I talked Carl Edwards into coming out and doing this.
I'm the bad guy in this video. I stole his girlfriend. I don't know anything about anything country. I can't change a flat tire. All I care about is my designer sunglasses. And I've got this really nice Ranger bass boat while he's out there in the dinghy.
I said, man, what if we do a thing where I'm just bashing my ex-girlfriend's new guy, and it turns out at the end to be somebody that I'm just completely depleted because of the success he's had far exceeds mine. So I thought, what about Carl? And he's done a great job today. We're teaching him how to drive a boat. He can drive a car, but we're trying to teach him how to drive a boat.
You'll come running back, he can't even bait a hook.
If you can't make fun of yourself, then then you should make fun of nobody else. So I can make fun of myself pretty good. So I've seen you irritated. I'm telling you. And play the song.
We're at the quintessential bachelor pad. We're in East Nashville on the set here, and this is a friend of the director. It's his house, and they've brought in a bunch of gear to make it just look like a slacker's cave, I guess.
Maybe next year I'll start acting my age, turn a new leaf over my wicked ways.
The main character of the song is someone who is just a procrastinator. He's been putting off getting the job. He's been putting off settling down. He's been putting off cleaning up his house. He's been putting off all his bad habits. And this is where he lives. So all the trappings of that sort of lifestyle are evident.
Only 365 days until I change my ways.
I'm still very new with the whole video thing. This is only my second one, but I was excited that the director came to the table with a really interesting story that really added to the song.
Well, that's it for this week. Next time, we'll bring you all the action from the red carpet to backstage with all the big winners at the 45th Annual CMA Awards, airing live on ABC November 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, how about one more look at Toby Keith and friends and their tribute to the Red Solo Cup. Take care, everybody.
Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party.